Hi, my name is Ginger Birkenbill. I'm the CEO of Burke Creative and the founder of the Astronaut Guide podcast. I'm sitting here in my hotel at the Marriott in Orlando, really nice hotel, and I'm waiting for the launch of SpaceX NASA Crew 8 launch to the International Space Station. So hopefully we'll be going off in a couple days, but instead of me just sort of showing pictures of the places I visited at NASA, which of course would be amazing, and instead of talking about what the rocket looks like and how great it was to be inside the assembly facility for the rockets for Artemis 2, I really just kind of want to express some of the things I have felt since I've been here, and also even share some ideas on what are some opportunities at NASA. So I've already done a part one, so this part two is really focused on what roles and careers you may not expect at NASA, or you may not know about adjacent opportunities at NASA, right? So I'm just gonna roll off some things that maybe you haven't thought about, which are really interesting opportunities. So here we go. All right, so what are some roles and careers you may not expect that exist at NASA? And I would love for you to add some of your own ideas to this list. But boot designers, there's people that need to design the boots. And so those are people that have a fashion background and engineering background and an understanding of science and polymers and things like that. So, but you still have to have a creativity to what you're doing. Filmmakers and cinematographers. Did you know that NASA has people that do that work, that went to film school, but they ended up working at NASA? So that's an interesting job opportunity. There's also script writers that work with Hollywood for concept and idea placement in films. That's a huge, huge opportunity as well. So think about things like that. Emblem designers. These are people that actually make the emblems that go on top of the that go on the suits, or that go on the walls, or that go on the doors and things like that. Like, these are really, believe it or not, these are really important roles. There's people that taste food. I ran into a food scientist today, and she worked in the Antarctica, and she's working on how to grow food in impossible conditions. And one of the obvious requirements of a successful growth of any vegetable is how it tastes. So there's people that actually though taste food, which is crazy to me. Maybe it's obvious to you, but it wasn't as obvious to me. But there is such a thing as space medicine. They're actually NASA's working on the 3rd edition of space medicine. So people that are doctors, you don't have to work in a hospital. You can work on a rocket with astronauts, which is crazy to me. So that's an opportunity. Environmental services workers. These people are really vital at any organization in any place that's dealing with health and disease and viruses. So people like that, you don't have to work in a hospital. Again, you can come work at NASA. There's also musicians and sound designers. These are people that work on the sound of space. They have music degrees, they have sound engineering degrees, and instead of going to work at a recording studio to put out the next Drake album, they're actually working at NASA, and they're working in the sound of deep space, which is really great. So actually, if you go to NASA Instagram page, and you'll see some, I think it's on the NASA Instagram page, you'll see some examples of music that's been sounds of space that have been converted to music. It's really, really fascinating. Of course, there's photographers. I'm assuming you would know this. There's public relations people. Those are people that are really necessary, to work at a place like NASA. There's journalists, there's historians, and these historians put together books about NASA. There's brand designers. There's actually several books out which show the history of NASA's logo, like what it's looked like, where it's shown up, where it's been, and what it's transitioned from. Are those flames about to hit me? I feel like I just felt like some heat on my face. Yeah, it's pretty windy out here, which is why the flight, the launch is delayed today. There's also truck and bus drivers, and they're not regular truck and bus drivers, but they actually transport people all around the facility here because it's huge. There's people that measure the wind. That's their only job. Because if it's too windy, you can't fly anywhere. So that's really fascinating. And then also there's gardeners. There's people not only that, like I said, that work in horticulture, and they work with seeds, and they work with water and all kinds of funguses and things like that. But there's actually people that take care of the grounds, the people that take care of the grounds all around NASA. And then finally, I learned today, which is really even more fascinating, is there's people that check the vital signs of specific sections on rockets. It's like, when you get your blood pressure checked or you get your heart checked, they actually check the vital signs of a rocket. So I found that to be really fascinating. So sorry that somebody rolled their car right as I'm talking, but I'm sitting outside in the patio. This is one of the loudest rooms in this hotel. I will admit, I will never have this hotel room again. It's so loud here between the cars and the people running in the hallway. But anyway, so listen, I wanted to share that with you. So there's probably other roles that are available. I would love, love, love to know if you can think of anything else that you're like, do they have a job like that? Like, I almost feel like whatever you can imagine you'd want to do with your career, you can do it here at NASA. And if you can't do it at NASA, NASA has a gazillion partners, corporate partners, obviously Lockheed Martin, but there's other mid-market companies that do a tremendous amount of work with NASA. And working for those companies means you're still working with NASA, although it's adjacent. So there's opportunities like that. I mean, obviously, Hollywood Studios is not at NASA, but NASA has an office in Hollywood.